So let us go to some basic in opening the set of or the setup uh, of this book, which uh, speaks about uh, the ability of the light to reveal itself. So it speaks about the need to go into exile in order to go through certain processes that will reveal the need. So as this book starts, it starts with one can say with a description of what kind of power descended to Egypt. And the question is why the book of Revelation actually starts with the exile of the sons or the children of Jacob or children of Israel, with the blessing of the ability to live in exile of Yaakov, okay, meaning to form a structure, of consciousness that will be able to serve for all humanity. But we need to see that in Hebrew, the whole process of the book of Shemot, of the purpose, is actually not the exodus of Israel, it's the exodus of Egypt. Okay. So it seems that at least at the time that this paradigm was laid out of exile and redemption, the first aim was to actually allow Egypt or all humanity to exit its slavery. So it seems, at least from the description of the point of view of humanity, that humanity was imprisoned. Okay. But if we look at the process of that the name Kabbalah speaks about, it speaks about a chain of connective relation between cause and result that is extending itself to humanity. And through that, there is, in the process of it, there is a process of tzimtzumim, meaning shattering and shuddering of the whole vessel, one can say, of the whole vessel structure. And we can say that going into Egypt is, in its process, is we can draw parallel between that and what we call shvira, okay, or breaking, the breaking or the shuddering, meaning of what? It's every break is the breaking of connection. It's not the breaking of the vessel or the light, but we speak about breaking the connection. When we break the connection, the light ascends to the place of its arising, and the vessel stays with, one can say, with a memory or with a print of how it felt to be with. Okay. So we can say that before Israel is going down to Egypt, to which is called vacant space, which there are already a plan or a possibility of worlds to form there. Okay. Now, each light, or one can say, each power of the will to receive for oneself, which is not reformed with a purpose, meaning with the intention to bestow, is trying to sort of draw the light and draw the light to himself. And as a result of it, the light, when it comes to a meeting point with the core essence of the will to receive to itself, is departing, because this is the law of Malchut. So it seems that when this structure is going into that place, something need to happen that will form what has been formed before, which is the world of Atzilut as the world of Tikkun, or as the world of wisdom. So we need to reread very carefully the whole structure of this portion, the opening portion. So first we need to know that 5 books of Torah has in it the structure of the 5 aspects of Sfirot, meaning that Bereshit will be Keter, and Shemot will be Chokhmah. But the movement, we can say that the movement of those 2 books are from higher to lower. It's the attempt of the light to actually reach all reality. Okay, and it extends itself, or it expresses itself clearly through human consciousness. Okay. So it is important to see that there is we're speaking about the whole structure of the book of Shemot, as you say, if we say Yehi Or Vayehi Or, meaning be like sort of an addict. Let it be light, and then there was light. So the book of Shemot is, and then there was light. Okay. Because it has to do with consciousness and vessels. So it seems that the trial of humanity as a whole is happening in Egypt. So we see that Bereshit has to do with the act of the creator, and the way that the creator is actually trying to extend space and place for humanity. And then where it seems as though it fails, it from this failure, planned failure, something new is emerging. In the world, it's the world that one can say that vessels and light can live together in harmony, and the vessel is able, okay, or the vessels are able to serve the light without creating an hindrance or a cover. But we need to understand that all creation, and when we speak about creation, we're speaking about stages of concealment. Yeah? How the light, how the intention, the thought of the Creator, while extending itself, it's concealing its presence, let's say, in nature, in the nature of humanity, in events, what we call screens. So at the moment we meet the book of Shemot, it seems that it's not so much that that the ability or humanity is imprisoned, but something else is imprisoned. And we see it when we start to hear about the ways of enslavement. At first, that enslavement is causing forgetfulness, kind of an amnesia of the purpose. So we can see two things: that the only vessel that are actually managing to hold to some sort of memory are the female, and therefore they have names. After there is the rise of a new pharaoh, of a new, one can say, of a new will to receive to oneself, that wish to actually structure the world according to their will, their wishes, and their vision of control. Okay. When that is coming up, meaning the forgetfulness of yourself, or what actually is the meaning of the exile of Israel, or the sons or children of Israel in Egypt, what is rising is fear. When you forget the purpose of your life, always fear plays a part. It's very important to remember, because one of the issues that we need to seek and have Pri Chacham is that what we are studying now is not something that happened. It's something that structured everything that will happen to us as individual and as a group, and then as humanity. Okay, so seeing that, we need to read all this book, and definitely this portion, with that point of view, from that point of view. Okay, so one of the things that Baal Sulam is emphasizing in the beginning of this, and it's in Pri Chacham, which I don't think you have any translation of it, so I'll try to sort of translate it as we go. Okay. He's saying, Torah is eternal, and exile and redemption are present in all generations and in all times, meaning in the general entity that is called Israel, or in individuals, because every single individual, personal entity is important to God as the wholeness, as the entire wholeness. Okay. And therefore, no one can actually reach his purpose before everything that, all the ways and all the illumination of names in Torah was connecting and gathering in his life, in his process of life. Every individual need to go through, if you like, the history of Israel in himself. Okay. And the first one that we see that is going through the sorting out is Moses or Moshe. Because it is not clear at all, or his identity is not clear until he actually goes through the process of sorting himself out. He's born to a family of Levi, and he's born to nameless, one can say nameless father and mother. It is said that the son of Levi went and married the daughter of Levi. We know from later that they are called Amram and Yocheved. Okay? But at that point, they are giving birth to someone that when he's born, his mother could see that he's all good, meaning light, and we can say with the quality of giving. So according to the tradition of mothers naming the born, definitely the firstborn or all the children, she's seeing his qualities and yet she's not giving him a name. It seems, if we are taking the midrash in it, that she should call him Tuvia, because she saw that he is good, that he has the quality of bestowal, he has the quality of goodness and the quality of light, which is the quality of bestowal. So, but yet she does not give him that name. And then he's being trusted into the water, and there is an ark, the appearance of an ark. So it seems that we are facing a transmigration of Noach in Moshe. But this time, as it's been said, he needs to go through this sorting out of whether he will become a leader that can actually redeem not only Israel, but all humanity. So he's being sent and found by Batia, the daughter of Pharaoh, that immediately when she opened the ark, she sees a baby crying. And she's clear that he's coming from Ever, is Ivri, Hebraic, meaning that she knows to identify the specific light and the cry as being a soft or generous heart. So Moses is going to be raised by Egypt. He's born to the Hebrews, he's raised by Egypt, and then when he gets his power and acknowledgement, he's trying to sort out Egypt, and then he's trying to sort out the Hebrews, and he fails, and then he has to run away. So where Moses is running away? Why he's not running away back to Canaan? Why he's running to the Midianite? Because in them he will find the descendant of the first father, which is Abraham. They are the son of Keturah, so he can start a new line. So the sorting out is now he's moving from being Noach to being Joseph. Okay. And then there is a revelation to Moses. But I want to rewind now. Okay. It seems that the rule of enslavement and the way that it sort of set or built or inaugurated the form of a reformation starts from revealing the fact that we are enslaved and revealing the fact that we are by which power we are enslaved. So it is important to sort of look at it. So I will go with you to Shemot. I have to sort of find it out in the Hebrew in order to set up the wording of it. Okay. 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 How they so I wish to go into verse 14. Chapter 1, verse 14. Okay. And okay, it reads, and they, the Egyptians, okay, made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and bricks, and in all manner of service in the field. All the service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. Okay. But we need to see how it says that they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in bricks. So here we hear the echo of what happened in the Tower of Babylon. What was actually the way that the builder of that tower sort of sought out their control in order instead of using, let's say, stones to build, which they have to use nature, they discover a new technology of how to make bricks. And the new technology was for them a statement that they will create something better than the creator created in nature. And in using their technology, they will become God. And in the process, they enslaved everyone into uniformity, sort of canceling any expression of individuality. So they lost their ability to express, or I would say it more clearly, they lost the godly presence in them to express itself. So they form a unified technological language, you can say, even, okay, that was enslaving. So after that, the purpose of giving a human being free choice was again starting to happen in Egypt in the way they built. They are not building towers, they're building pyramids. Okay. What is the purpose of a pyramid? To make a human eternal, or at least to make the power, the consciousness in power, eternal, meaning to endow it with godly powers. Okay. So this what made bitter the enslavement for Israel. The power to make them forget their name, meaning their purpose, and what they need to serve as a spirit, the expression of what they need to serve. Okay. And therefore, what they built for Egyptian was considered by the will to receive to oneself as beautiful. But for them, it was, in a way, a torture of seeing the will to receive to oneself winning over their memory and of what need to be done. Okay. So every time they managed to remember something would sort of step on it. But what I'm trying to say here is this is the meaning of pa'or, meaning the bad mouth. Till what you can even sort of associate it to what it means bad mouth today. Okay, so bad mouth means that what actually should be expressed through the mouth, which is the screen, is not being able to express itself. So it's the godly speech that was imprisoned in Egypt, and the whole process is actually to free in human consciousness the ability to hear and to express and to speak godly speech, which is to do with Torah and bestowal. Okay. So one can say the conscious entities that are visiting this portion as annunciation of what is to come is the midwife. And therefore they have names, Shifra and Pu'ah, which speaks about speech, both of them in Hebrew. Shifra speaks about what is called in Hebrew, Imrei Shefer, a speech of beauty, a speech of wisdom. And Pu'ah is the ability to cry for, to pray for. Yeah, to pray and to cry for God, even if you don't have the words, you have the voice for it. So they are the annunciation of the changing time, and every time we are sort of on the cusp, on a liminal state of change and reformation. The whole system of that was sort of pushed to the back scene will come forth, and there will be the causes of the memory and the causes of the leadership. Okay, so they refuse actually to execute Pharaoh's, or to abide to Pharaoh directives, and they explain it, and they that when it comes to an Hebrew lady giving birth, or when she's in labor, she does not wait for the midwife. She's giving birth with a different assistance or power in herself. So it's not only speaking about the midwife, it speaks about the power, the female power to give birth to a new era, to a new consciousness. Okay. So therefore, it seems that there is a new directive which seems not to go only to the Israelites, but to all Egypt. Actually, to kill or to drown all male born. So what was actually the plan of Pharaoh? To keep alive the daughters, maybe of Israelites, and then there will be no men, so they will marry Egyptians. And this is how Egypt will carry the seed of Israel in itself. And it will be the carrier of human conscious evolution. So this is the true fight that we meet here. And the fight on identity is happening as well, as I mentioned before, in Moses, because everything that it's happening in the general state of humanity happens definitely to the future leaders and to each individual of this era. Okay. So I would like just for a moment to pause here and to see if there are some questions about what I said so far, because it lays a different foundation of reading. So I wish to understand that you understand that from Shvira, or from the big break, comes there's a new world forming, which is the world of Atzilut, and how from the big break of all the concealment of the book of Genesis coming into the book of Shemot or Exodus, it speaks about the break that will sort of express itself through the 10 plagues that will fall upon Egypt. Okay? So it means that you can say that the first revelation of a culture, of the intention at least, of the Creator, happened to Egypt. And then you can say that the Creator's speech was released, and we meet it in 10 Commandments. Okay. So it's an extension of the light, what it causes, how it reforms things, and then how it reveals itself, how it is able to reveal itself.